Do I look nice? Yeah, I did not carry a presentation. I thought this would be enough. But yeah, so I am that boy you see wearing the fur jacket, but it was not always. I was never, I mean, I was always extra inside my head, but it took a while to execute it. So today you see me in this fabulous outfit styled by a bunch of people. There is like a team who works behind everything that I do today. But there was a time when I came to Bombay, or even before Bombay, I lived in Pune for 4 years, and I was born in Nagpur. I left home after 12th because I had no idea what I want to do. The only thing I was good at was to be a dancer. I used to dance. I did not continue college. Not saying college, you should not go to college. I'm just saying that I just knew I wanted to learn things in a different way. But please stay in college. Education is very important. My mother is a teacher, so I have to say that. But saying that I did not continue college does not mean I was an idiot. I was very good in academics. I was always winning the first prize because when you are a teacher's kid in the same school, you have pressure. And I have my sister is a doctor. My dad is a musician. My mom is a teacher, and she sings as well. So music, like it's a power thing, right? You sing. Dancing, like I said, and I was competing. And then when I came to Pune, I had this new life. I don't have anybody to protect me. I am 16, and I still remember the first night I spent alone just by myself making Maggie. I used to eat a lot of Maggie, and I used to go and rehearse, and then I realized, oh my God, I deserve a lot more, and I'm hungry for more money. That's my motto in life, make a lot of money. So I started performing in nightclubs. Name a club in Pune, I've danced there. I used to make my own costumes. I had to decide and divide 500 rupees a day because I'm still making about 20 grand. When I got done with 500 rupees divided in a day, in this whole process and chaos where only in the first of every month, because that's when your salary comes, I could afford to get 1 cup of coffee for myself from Starbucks. That is where I met my someone who spotted me, who was a photographer. Let me go back to this. I have always been a very insecure kid, and I'm sure it's hard to believe because I'm dressed like a monkey right now, but I was always very insecure. I was body shamed for my skin color, to my choices, to my size. Apart from me, everybody had an issue that I was thin. But basically, what happened was this guy who was not interested in me, he came to me and he said, you look beautiful. And I was like, and he was like, I want to click you. Now, I was really confused. I had acne all over my face. And this was this time when I was going through this emo phase. And I believe we all have that emo phase. Don't leave me alone. I would just be in that place. But basically, that was my mask. And nobody wants to come for a boy who's wearing black eyeliner and gray lenses because they feel like you're crazy. And I loved being crazy. But what really stand out in this whole craziness was my aesthetic, my taste to fashion, which I never knew was fashion. Because fashion is such a different term altogether. There are so many yes and no's and do's and don'ts to it today that I don't believe in. But they thought I have an aesthetic, and that's the word that I learned at the age of 17, aesthetic. So I was like, great, I have an aesthetic. Like entrepreneur, I think is a new word for people unemployed. So aesthetic was my word. So basically, no tea, no shade, but all tea, all shade. So I had an aesthetic, apparently. The pictures came out amazing. And they were not like these soft focus pictures of me being a diva that I get to be today or in the picture you see. But I was basically just doing nothing. And he clicked some nice Polaroids of me. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, I am so beautiful. And I just had this whole moment, like a Tiffany Haddish moment. Oh my God, you're beautiful. Oh my God, really? Like I'm talking to myself with both sides, right? And I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do now? And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna post it on Facebook. How many hashtags do I put now? Because hashtags were new. Instagram, I believe was not yet out then. But then my pictures went to Bombay, and then people called me from Bombay, and when I went there, it was a hoax. It was not what I thought it would be. And Bombay is a beautiful city. It's a city of dreams. And for someone like me who never had any dreams like these, it's very giving, but it takes a lot from me. So if you ever choose to be a part of this industry, keep your guards up. What I realized that day was I am a rebel child, and that comes from my parents. My parents are two rebel parents. They were not allowed to get married. They fought for love. They stood by. They raised two amazing kids, me and my sister. And that was a rebel attitude that I think I got from my parents. And this rebel attitude was to somebody who told me that you will not make it unless one day you go down on me, to me being, oh yes, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna come back to the city. I was okay being a pizza delivery boy. I was okay being anything that would come first to me. My first job was to clean shelves and to arrange makeup products. And I was always good in makeup because I was a dancer, plus I was a diva, plus now I knew I was pretty, so I was like, let's put more makeup on. And then I was like, great, let's do this. So I went to Arland. I had an amazing job. I met some amazing people. I was selling makeup and I was making a lot of money, and then I have to survive, so I became a makeup artist. Because you gotta start somewhere. And I left that job with no goals. And that was clearly one of my biggest risks in life that I took, which was to just leave. And that's one thing, no, it's like dhanke ki chot pe. Like, I had so much of confidence on myself, but there was something about it. It was not arrogance, it was self-assurance. Because I always knew I'm so unique and blessed, and I had faith in my faith, and I knew my parents are praying, and I believe in prayers. It's debatable and subjective, but I believe in having a very strong faith. And I believe that I'm a walking miracle to be today what I do. So I left that job because I was hungry for more. I had 5 products in my bag. I still remember I could not afford makeup. I had to think between food, makeup, shoes, rent, and food. We definitely need an outfit, because if you look rich, you become rich. It's true, just saying. If you look rich, you become rich. And if you want to be successful, hang out with people who are successful. That's the only way to make it. I mean, according to me, no offense. I made sure to have a nice outfit every night. And I was like, okay, great, this is amazing. This was the strategy, to be noticed, right? So I was like, if I want to be noticed, I'm going to do everything. And I always wore heels, and I was always dressing up like this. So even if I don't want to be noticed, I can be like, hey, who's that? So I really laugh when people still be, I would have pink hair and someone would come and be like, are you gay? And I'm like, what is it that I'm doing wrong that this person does not understand today? Like, I never get it. I still don't get it. Because there's always that Deepu in your life video from Instagram who has like a private account with 0 posts and 0 everything, who is like, why are you behaving like a chick? Why you want to be a lady? And I'm like, sorry, bhaiya. But basically, yeah, I'm sure we all met one Deepu in our life. So anyways, I went all out to these parties, and I would meet these fancy people who would talk about fashion, and I'll be like, oh yes, darling, fashion who? I know. And then I would speak aesthetic. And I'm still not an entrepreneur because I still have a job. And I was like, cool, this is amazing. Okay, we're meeting the right people. I did this amazing thing, and I did good PR. I was great in PR before I could afford a manager. I used to do great PR for myself because I knew how to sell myself, and no pun intended, but like in a nicer way. And because I was good at this, I was like, you know what? Now it's time to tell the world how beautiful you are. Believe it. If you give it to the universe, fake it till you believe it, and lie. It works. Just lie. I would be like, Deepika, pick up your makeup kya? I'm like, yeah, never did it. But like, the point is, like, I faked a lot, I lied a lot. I lied and I used to sneak into Lakmé Fashion Week. If today they are watching this, they're gonna laugh at this. There were these elevators and you have to go through security. The moment I would see like 2 people walk in, I would just go inside the elevator with my cards in my hand and in my back pocket. I would wear shorts, I would put a lot of makeup on so they might think I'm a blogger, and then I would just go inside, act like I'm vlogging, and then suddenly I'm distributing cards at Lakmé Fashion Week. Anyone in a good outfit, hi, I'm a makeup artist. Hello, I'm a makeup. I was so good at sales as well. Like I said, I knew how to sell myself. In this whole scenario, Sarah Jane Dias, who was the digital face of Lakmé, was running to the elevator because she was a digital face and she was covering. While she's live on Lakmé TV, me, the nasty boy, runs straight on her, and I just go like, I want to do your makeup. And I give her my card. And then she looked at me, she laughed, she took the card. And what do you expect? Like, who's gonna call you, right? After a month, I got a call from Sarah Jane Dias. And she said, hey, my makeup artist is not here. I remember you. You're the skinny boy who came to the elevator at Lakmé. And I was just yelling at the other side of the phone. And then I went and I did her makeup. And she loved it so much with the 5 products I had that I became a full-time makeup artist. Then I did movies and I studied this other side. And she said, oh my God, Jason, you want to be in front of camera. And she's like, you want to do this. I was like, I'm like dying to do this. I'm dying to be in front of camera. Cut story, I went to Lakmé last year with heels on, mind you, with shirt, heels. They said they want boys to walk. They want them to be different. I went, I was not selected. After a year, which is this year, I was called for Lakmé to be a showstopper for a brand. And it literally took like a year of change. I finished the show, and then I went back and I realized I was crying the entire time before the show started. And because I wanted my dad to be there. Do you know, when I was 4 years old, or 5 I believe, my aunt got married. I was a page boy. And everybody was like, oh my God, Jason is the best page boy. But what I was staring at was a wedding gown. I was like, I want to wear that. Why are you putting me in a suit and tie? And then I was so angry. And then I never realized why they told me to shut up back then. But then I went back home. And you know, if you're Catholic, you know, we have this typical white net tablecloths, curtains that look like lace. I used to just put that on my head. And when my parents were not around, I used to run all over the house. When I was 14, local college fashion show, I borrowed my aunt's wedding gown for a friend so she could wear this wedding dress. When they sent this wedding dress, I wore it by myself in my house when nobody was home. But actually my mom was there and she never spoke to me. And right before Lakmé, I spoke to her about this and we both were crying because she said, I know this because I saw you do this. I was in my room, drama queen, I wore the wedding dress and I was crying. And I was crying because I realized I'd never get to be a bride in my life. I would never be able to walk down the aisle with my father in a wedding dress or just be on the other side, walk down because I'm expected to be on that side, right? And when I got to know, and they kept it a big secret. People thought I knew that I'm going to be a showstopper. I had no idea I was going to be the showstopper. I knew I was supposed to walk for this fashion week. I went there, and then I got into the outfit, and suddenly they brought this huge veil out, and the crown, and I just cried, and I was like, oh my God, I'm having my Carrie Bradshaw moment. And my father is not here. My parents are not here. And this is not how I planned it to be. But now if this is it, I'm gonna go with it. And of course it was Pratik Bumper. Did you see those 6 packs? And I was like, this cannot be any much better. I was like, after this, I got calls and I got signed with agencies. The same agencies I worked as a makeup artist who told me I'm too skinny. I'm too brown. I don't have a butt. I don't know what they were looking at. My right eye is hooded, my nose is crooked, you don't have a great upper lip. I was like, yeah, okay, cool, modeling is fine. I just have to make 3 faces, this and pout, and it's gonna be fantastic. No, it's not. You are expected to make an extravagant piece of garment believe a necessity in your life. You are expected to deliver emotions in one image that can make it and break it. You are touched, felt, Right from the person who puts the mic on you, to the person who tapes your jacket, to the person who zips your outfit, to 3 makeup artists who do your hair and makeup every day. You have people from the light dada to the photographer trying to tell you which part of your body needs to pout more, how much you can arch, how much you cannot. I never thought I could do this. But I had to give up shame and adult. That was my other butterfly effect. And it sounds like a sad story, but it is not. It feels amazing. I am blessed to do what I do, but it's a tough job. And that's when I realized when I started getting into it. It's a tough job to wear a pair of heels and stand in a 15 minutes talk. And it's crazy that a boy wearing a pair of heels is different. These are shoes, right? And shoes are supposed to be worn on your feet. A piece of shirt, high-waisted pants, these are clothes. Why do we have labels and tags? I have such an issue with every person putting labels and tags. The whole point was about being a human being and being equal. And it's not by power, shape, size, color, gender, or anything like that. And that was something that made me go so angry. And that was the whole reason I did what I do today. A lot of people don't understand. They say, you sing, you dance, you talk, you walk, you act, you model. When I was young and I started doing, people told me, you cannot do everything, Jason. Concentrate on one, choose one. You cannot be jack of all cards. Yeah? And then I was like, no, you can be. You can do everything. Every time you would say a no to me, I will definitely do it. And that was really the driving force. I'm sure everybody has a story. Mine is not. Mine just looks prettier because I have a great outfit on. I just want to say that my only thing about butterfly effect in my life is that I believe I'm very young. So I can't preach. I can just tell. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. What is the first thing you say to yourself when you wake up? I tell myself I'm going to be rich and famous. And it's a giant secret I'm keeping to myself because I just let it happen and no one could relate. Right? Because I'm like, you don't know, but you will see. 10 years down the line, you will see, sir, bye for now, but you would know my name.